A man opens a coffin at a funeral. He just wants to say goodbye to his son one last time. But when he knocks on the lid, something knocks back. And when the coffin opens, what crawls out is not his son anymore. We open with a man named Joseph Price. He is sitting alone in a room going through the old research notes of his grandfather Benjamin. From what he reads, Benjamin was not just a regular historian. He was part of a secret group called the Circle of Wise Men. People who spend their entire lives studying dark force and ancient evil. Benjamin spent years searching the world for something called the Book of the Dead. In his recording, he explains that thousands of years ago, certain dark words were spoken that opened the gates of hell. Through those gates came a powerful evil force, the Kanderian Demon. This demon jumps from body to body, turning people into what are called Deadites. And the scariest thing about Deadites is that they are all connected to each other. If one of them knows something, all of them know it instantly. They share one dark mind. Benjamin also discovered a special weapon, a dagger, that could permanently destroy Deadites and send the demon back to hell. But he sealed it away and hid it because the moment that seal breaks, the demon will immediately know where the dagger is and come hunting for it. And that is exactly what happens. The moment Joseph accidentally breaks the seal somewhere in the darkness, an evil force wakes up. Now, the story moves to a quiet lake. This is the same lake from Evil Dead Rise, and this is exactly where that story left off. Two friends, Leo and Jared, have come to the lake for a fishing trip. Everything looks completely normal at first, while Leo walks away to answer a call from his girlfriend. Jared stays behind and keeps fishing. Then his fishing line goes tight. Something very heavy has caught it. He pulls with all his strength, expecting a big fish. What comes out of the water is not a fish, it is a severed human head, and it belongs to Caleb, the boyfriend of a girl named Jessica from the previous movie. Before Jared can even react, a bloody hand shoots out of the water and grabs him. It is Jessica, but she is no longer a normal person. She has become a full deadite. She drags Jared underwater, pulls his mouth apart with brutal force, and kills him in one of the most horrifying scenes in the movie. Leo comes running back when he hears the screaming. He gets into a boat and tries to reach Jared, but it is too late. Jessica tears Jared apart. When Leo sees what is left, he immediately vomits from shock. But Jessica is not done. She flips Leo's boat and the lake water itself starts burning his skin like acid. He barely makes it to the shore, his entire body badly burned. Jessica simply walks over him and heads toward the road. She stands in the middle of the road as a car comes speeding toward her. She does not move. The car crashes straight into her, and we learn that driver is Will Price, the brother of Joseph, our main character. We go back a few hours to understand how Will ended up here. It is Joseph's birthday party at a bar. Will gives his younger brother a beautiful pen as a gift. Will's wife Alice is there too. She is French and Will married her in Paris without telling his family first. His parents are not exactly happy about this. During the party, it becomes clear that Will and Alice's marriage is not in a good place. Will keeps pressuring Alice to stop smoking and start a family. Alice is not ready for any of that. Their argument turns ugly. Alice tells Will in anger that one day he will rot in hell. Will punches a car mirror and drives away drunk, even though Joseph begs him not to go. That drive leads him straight to the road where Jessica is waiting. The crash is violent. Jessica's body breaks badly from the impact. Her neck almost separated from her body, but she is a deadite. Pain means nothing to her. She looks at Will trapped inside the burning car and speaks dark words from the Book of the Dead. In seconds, the Kanderian Demon transfers itself into Will. The car burns. Everyone assumes Will died in the fire. But Will did not die. The demon is now inside him. And the last thing the demon says through Jessica before it moves on is, "Take us to your family. There is something there that we need." Days later, it is Will's funeral. Alice is completely heartbroken. Will's parents, Susan and Edgar, blame Alice for the accident because of the fight they had. They treat her coldly the whole time. The family gathers for the cremation. There is Joseph, his girlfriend Thea, the family dog Max, and Will's grandmother Polly. A sweet old woman sitting in a wheelchair who suffers from severe memory problems. She keeps forgetting where she is and who people are, which leads to some accidental humor in the darkest of moments. During the ceremony, Susan pushes for cremation because she cannot stand the idea of her son being buried. Alice agrees, even though she would have preferred otherwise. But while everyone is sitting in the service hall, Edgar quietly goes to the cremation room to see his son one last time. The worker is there preparing the coffin. Edgar asks for just a moment alone. He walks to the coffin and knocks on it gently. One last goodbye. The coffin knocks back. Edgar's face goes white. He thinks his son is alive. He starts breaking the lid open, and the moment it cracks open, Will's burned body lungs out. In seconds, he grabs the worker, rips him apart, and leaves blood everywhere. Edgar barely escapes with his life, but Will has already scratches him. And in the world of Evil Dead, even a scratch is enough. The demon has now marked Edgar too. After the funeral, the family moves into the old lake house. This is the same house where Will and Alice once got married. There are memories here in every room, but the mood is heavy and tense. Something dark is already watching. Joseph goes up to the attic and finds his grandfather Benjamin's old research and notes, including reference to the Book of the Dead and the Kanderian dagger. His mother Susan tells him to throw it all away. She does not want any of this in this house. That night at dinners, Edgar's behavior starts changing. He becomes aggressive, unpredictable. He starts turning family members against each other, making accusations, saying strange things. The dog Max senses something wrong immediately and keeps barking at Edgar without stopping. Then Edgar picks up a fork from the dinner table and stabs Max with it. Max dies on the floor while everyone watches in shock. Then Edgar stabs himself with the same frog. Joseph and Thea rush him to the car to get him to a hospital. But on the way, Edgar's full position takes over. His eyes turn completely yellow. His voice changes. He starts attacking. Thea inside the moving car, the car crashes into a ditch. Joseph pulls out a gun, but he cannot bring himself to pull the trigger when he sees his own father's face in front of him. Thea picks up a fire extinguisher and hits Edgar hard. For a moment, it seems like she got him, but Edgar tears a metal rod from the car headrest and drives it straight through Thea's head, through her skull right in front of Joseph. Joseph runs into the forest to save himself. Back at the lake house, Alice and Susan are burying Max in the garden. Alice finds Benjamin's old diary near Joseph's things and starts reading it alone. She finds notes about the Kanderian dagger, and without fully understanding what she is doing, she begins reading words from the Book of the Dead out loud. 3 of the 4 forbidden words. Doors begin rattling, wind blows through the house. She stops before the 4th word, but the damage is already done. Max digs himself out of the ground. Reborn as a Deadite, he attacks Alice, and she barely fights him off using a knife she had taken earlier from Edgar in the basement. Before she can explain what just happened to Susan and Polly, Joseph comes blasting through the front door. He tells them Thea is dead, Edgar killed her, and then a knock at the door. Everyone hope it is Thea. Alice opens it. It is Thea, but this is not the Thea who loved him. Her body is covered in blood. The metal rod is still through her head. Her fingers are torn, and she is wearing the most terrifying smile anyone has ever seen. She walks in, drinks melted candle wax off the table, raises a toast to the family, and then attacks. Joseph and Alice work together and manage to push her into the basement and lock the door. For a moment they breathe, but then Edgar comes back and Max is with him, alive again. Deadites are not easy to destroy. Edgar shoots himself in the head 3 times to show them that bullets mean nothing. Meanwhile, Thea inside the basement uses her body heat to raise the temperature of the entire house. The walls become hot to the touch. 4 people remain: Alice, Joseph, Susan, and Polly. Then Thea starts calling to Polly softly from behind the basement door. She pretends to be sweet. She knows Polly's memory is fading and uses it against her, saying she has something Polly wants, her memory back. Polly had long suspected Thea of stealing money from the house, and now she believes this is really her. Polly unlocks the basement door herself, and the real nightmare begins. Thea comes out of the basement slowly, smiling. She shoves Polly aside and disappears into the house. She starts pouring fuel, trying to burn everything down. Joseph tries to stop her with a lamp. She vanishes from in front of him and then drops from the ceiling straight onto Alice, telling her to stay away from Joseph. Joseph finally understands what the demon wants. Thea has been targeting him specifically, not killing him outright. They want something from him. They want the dagger. In the kitchen, Thea slams Joseph into a rack of open knives and forks, pointing upward. She sits on him, pushing him deeper into the knives, taunting him. She will not stop until he tells her where the dagger is. But Joseph endures the pain. He jabs the wine opener into her neck. She laughs, starts tearing her own throat with it, and then runs toward Polly, who has just told the demon she has what it wants. Polly points her to a pillow in her room. At the same moment, Alice hits Thea from behind with Polly's prosthetic leg, knocking her down the stairs. Joseph brings a heavy object down on Thea's head with full force, crashing it completely. For a moment, silence, but outside, Edgar is walking around the house, and Susan's possession is now complete. Alice grabs a rotary saw, a tribute to the original Evil Dead movies, and fights her way through. She deals with Susan. She fights Edgar. She burns the lake house down from the inside, screaming at everything they put her through. On the construction site nearby, she comes face to face with a fully demonic Will, half burnt, barely human but still hunting her. He chases her down. They fight through the dark, and when she falls into a deep pit with a metal rod through her foot, she refuses to stop. She throws the dagger into the pit as bait, and Will comes for it. As he reaches in, she activated a jackhammer and sends him crashing into the depths. He grabs her ankle one final time from below and says in a voice that sounds like the real Will, "I love you." Alice does not fail for it. She drives the real Kanderian dagger into him. She crushes his head with her bare hands. Will sinks into the pit forever. By morning, police and paramedics arrives. Alice sits outside wrapped in a blanket. An officer asks who did this. Alice says, "My ex-husband." She lights a cigarette, and for the first time in years she feels free. But evil does not end. Polly crawls out of the burning house along the road. A young woman stops her car to help. Polly scratches the woman's leg, and that tiny scratches is all the Kanderian demon needs, a new host. And in the post-credit scene at the cremation, the manager's young daughter notices an unclaimed urn with the name Ellie Bisker on it. The main villain from Evil Dead rise. The girl touches a mirror, and in that reflection, Alice Deadite from stares back. The mirror cracks. Alice's spirit breaks free from the mirror world and kills the girl instantly. The demon is out again, and Alice, wherever she goes, will never truly be safe. So that was Evil Dead Burn, a brutal, smart and deeply satisfying continuation of one of horror's greatest franchises. Here on Spooky Brain, we cover the best horror movies in the world, from underrated gems to the biggest release. If you enjoyed this breakdown, hit like, share it with a horror fan, and we'll see you in the next one.